Blast me to Bermuda! It's time for the Mad Merlins unboxing of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium Delivery 8. Hello and welcome back to another Mad Merlins unboxing. Today we are cracking open Imperium Delivery 8. So I wasn't expecting this until Thursday or possibly Friday, but Monday morning I've had my lovely delivery. There's the paperwork. There is no paperwork. Okay. Right, so we've got issues 28, 27, 29, and 30. So we'll just run through each of the issues quickly, have a quick look at the contents of each issue, and then we'll see what's going to be coming up. So let's start at 27. So this issue comes with a piece of terrain, lovely large piece of terrain, the heliotrope reactor. So you've got the two main sides of the reactor, furnace door, rear vent, two pipeline caps, a controller vent, a set of pipeline pieces there, and exhaust vents, plus some small bits there that goes on the back. So that's going to be a fun little build. This is the bit I'm interested in. What are they going to be painting it like in the issue? So in issue 27 we get the heliotrope reactor, the ages of mankind, and we continue our battle. So we've got a battle record for our heliotrope reactor. This is the first of two. And you see we got designation there. Wounds ignored, objective secured. Space Marines battle line troops. All the different types of troops. So we've got intercessors, heavy intercessors, infiltrators covered here. We've got the ages of mankind starting in the Age of Terror from M1 to M15. And up to the Age of Darkness in M30. Build guide for our reactor, fairly simple, goes together much as you would have thought. Yeah, there we go. Showing you how to build it as the basic way you can. So for our reactor, we're making sure we coat it in lead belcher first, then giving it a wash and on oil. Painting the eye and the cog Corax white, the other half Abaddon black. Painting blue over the plasma areas. Yeah, we are painting the pipe corn red. All the lights and lenses and the backing of the main eye vent there, all corn red. Runelord brass on some of the metal areas to help break up the silver. Retributor armor on others. Shading all those new areas of Agrax Earthshade. And our finished reactor. So that does look a lot better than the Conquest reactors, which are all just rather grey and bland. So I might get my other two and paint these up to match. So, rules reference for our gaming. So we got our full updated rules reference to keep at the side of the table to help remind you how things work, including the morale phase. And we got our next battle. On to 28. So this is the first of another double issue. So we've got 4 Necron Warriors and 2 Scarab Swarms for our next squad of 10. Same sprues we got in issues 9 and 10. And gives us our last Necron Warrior and Scarabs unit for the Necrons. So let's have a quick flick through. So we've got our battle record as usual. The Relentless March. The Skitarii Legions. How to build our Necrons. So it comes with 2 different weapon options. It does say that you should build 5 of each, so that gives you a squad of 10 of each in the end. And then we have all our build guides, finished models. So we got the continuation of our core rules. So this covers coherency, the battlefield, measuring distance, and then we have terrain features and terrain traits. A set of Imperium terrain, so ruins, containers, and walls. You got pipelines, the plasma reactor, barrels, and the crates. And our next mission, Counter Strike. So, 29 is, no surprise, the second half of the Necrons. So we get our 32 mil bases for our Necron Warriors. And we get our 40 mil base for our Scarab Swarm. And then we have our second frame. So I'll do this, much like I've done with the Skitarii Rangers, do a double issue for the building guide. So, issue 29, we have another fold-out sheet for, I'm guessing, going to be covering one of the worlds for our campaign. So we learn about the 5 support squads of the Space Marines, painting our Necron phalanxes, and more expanded data sheets. We've also got a bit of lore on Mars, the birthplace of the cult Mechanicus. Genestealer cults, so another inquisitorial report. 5 support squads covering the Eradicators, Hellblasters, Eliminators, and Aggressors. And Into the Swarm, a short story which looks like Blood Angels versus Tyranids. Nice. And then we're learning how to paint our Necrons, much like we have in previous issues. Getting them up to a fairly standard paint scheme. So we got 2 squads of Gorz Flayers, 2 squads of Gorz Reapers, an additional squad of 3 Gorz Flayers, and then we got 2 squads of 3 Scarabs. So this is what all our models together should look like. Our rules continue with all the different types of dice values you can get. Rolling off, starting strength, half strength, and destroyed units. And we got a reference for data sheets. You would have thought this would have come a little bit earlier, but just gives you a breakdown of how each data sheet would look like, giving us the example of the Primaris Lieutenant and Assault Intercessors there. And then we got the remainder of the data sheets, so you got weapons, war gears, keywords, etc. So, new data sheets for the Space Marines are the Aggressors and the Librarian. And we got a new battle there, Valkyrie Down. And we got Amontep 2. So the forge world of Amontep 2 lies in the outer reaches of the Ultima Segmentum. It is a site of furious conflict between the forces of Mechanicus and the Necrons. So we got, yay, Saltec Dynasty. So you got your different canoptic constructs, your Technomancers. And there's the beautiful artwork from the Mechanicus vs. Necron box, Forge Bane, I want to say. Does it say on the back? No, it just says the forces. So you've got the Mechanicus, the Armiger Knights, Dominus. Yeah. There's a nice little box that first released the Armiger Knights, faced also first time released in the Cryptek, but faced the Mechanicus of Tech Dominus, Scutaria Rangers against Cryptek, some Lich Guard and Canoptic Wraiths. And finally, issue 30, so we've got 2 sets of paints in this. So we got Mephiston Red, which is a lovely bright red, and Mournfang Brown. So hopefully this will be telling us how to paint stuff like pouches, belts, etc. So successor chapters as well, and more data sheets. So we got a name generator for our Mechanicus cohorts, and all the different units within our cohorts. So we got Manipur Cataphrons, Scutari, and our 2 Tech Priests. So we're starting the list of Ultramarine successors, some various different ones, and yet even more. We got data sheets about the Novok dynasty, one of my second favourite Necron dynasty. I do quite like it. It's basically Saltec but with red on, which is quite nice. And we got the Exalted Scythe there, which is a special unit from the earlier version of the Kill Team, which was basically 1 box of Immortals but made up a couple of Death Marks and 3 Immortals. And Remnants of the Dark Age. Another bit about the Imperium's early days, explorator fleets, etc. And hunting Xenotech. So yeah, as I thought, paint guide, we are painting all our belts, pouches, etc. Gloves with Mournfang Brown. Even the book. Hair on some of them, the scabbards on those of the scabbard. Some hair's being painted black, looks like it as well. Picking out the details at the bottom of each holster and the holster clips with lead belcher. Then we're using Mephiston Red to paint over the capes, 3 layers, and then painting the eyes, as well as helmets for sergeants on the aggressors and assault intercessors. Then we're washing the pouches with Nuln Oil. So anything brown was washed in Nuln Oil. And the red is washed with Agrax Earthshade. And relayering it with Mephiston Red. So that's our reference to our updated models. All looking quite nice. So our data sheets this time are the Scorpec Destroyers, Chronoptic Plasma Sight, and that's it. So we have our battle round checker for core rules, and your details about the command phase as well. And then we have our next battle, pitting even in Necrons against this Primaris Lieutenant. And finally, what can we expect in the start of our next delivery? So we got a set of ruins with new terrain, hella paint, and the movement phase core rules section. And we've got 32, the Cataphon Destroyers arrive, with the Legio Cybernetica being detailed, and we get new rules for the Adeptus Mechanicus units. So I'll just bring all the issues back in, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So there we have our next delivery of Imperium. Rather weak delivery, especially on model-wise. You're just getting more Necron Warriors. If you don't have much of a collection, it'll be good for you. But I've had about 50 to 60 of these already, so it's nothing new to me. I will, of course, be just building these and painting these, adding them to my collection. You can never have too many warriors when it comes to Necrons. I have got a spare set, which came with my World Scour Legion, they're going to be used as some nice beating material for some of my Ultramarine models. The strong point of this delivery is definitely the Heliotrope reactor. A nice paint guide, so it'll be interesting to see how they improve it as we move through the collection with new paints. Paint issue is pretty strong. Two of my favourite base paints, Mournfang Brown and Mephiston Red. And I can't wait to add some extra details to some of my other models. So hopefully we will be using these on our Skitarii as well, because we've got some pouches on the Skitarii, so we'll most likely be using Mournfang Brown on them. Mephiston Red I would have probably used for Mars myself, but they've used Corn Red. It'll be interesting to see how Mephiston Red is used on them. Most likely it'll be for lenses and stuff. I think we'll see that once we get to 32 and we get our Breacher or Destroyer. So we'll see what happens there. So all in all, a rather, I'm just going to say just a good delivery, I think. So it'll be fun to see how we get on with this. I'm definitely going to be building it and painting it as the magazine says, much like my Mechanicus units. So I think that is it. All what's left for me to do is to thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, there's an affiliate link, buy me a coffee link, and also my social media links down in the description below. So I'll see you next time for more mad content. Goodbye.